Hello, my name is Shane, and my animals love stressing me out. For like 10 years, people have been asking me, has one of your animals ever gotten out? Or other keepers have been like, it's a rite of passage, it happens to everyone, and I've been like, not me. This is karma for that, I think. So let me paint a little picture for you. It's about 3:30 in the morning. You're sleeping comfortably in your bed, and then you wake up to a loud sound. You don't really know what it was. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if I thought something fell. So it's pitch black because it's 3:30 in the morning. I sit up and I look and I can't see anything because it's dark. Well, I guess I just thought it was a dream. I was super confused. So I just go back to sleep. Well, I didn't go back to sleep, but I lay back down. And then I start to hear sounds like this. Is this ASMR? Anyway, it sounded like that. So naturally, I'm properly afraid now because it didn't even cross my mind that it could have been one of my animals. So I grab my phone, I turn on my flashlight, and I just start trying to look. And I see red and black and I'm like, oh my god, it's Vetter. Okay, so I just went to grab him so I could show you him and talk with him, but he went kind of feral. He's in a weird feeding response right now. I think it's because he recently got moved into a top opening enclosure, so he thinks I'm gonna dangle a rat in there. I don't know, but I think he'd bite me, which he's never bit me ever. So anyway, so I'll put in some clips, but I look in the corner of my room and I see red and black going in the corner of my room behind a bag. So here's a video of that. Oh my god, dude, oh, Vetter. Oh my god, he got out. He actually got out. I did not think that would happen ever. In literally 10 years of keeping animals, I've never had one get out, and I just woke up. It's 3:49 to the sound of Vetter snaking right in the corner of my room. His enclosure's up there. Did he fall 6 feet? Are you okay? That was crazy. How did he get out? The whole cage is locked down. How did you get out? And on the floor, I have my wheel and pedal for video games, and a bag of soil, every normal person has, just a bag of soil in the corner of the room. And he was going over that, and that's what was making that noise. So immediately I panic. I try to grab him, but he's curling around things. So I just kind of untangle him, get him back into his enclosure. And now it's time for me to figure out how did he get out because it's locked. So I start inspecting, and if you go way back in my videos, there's a video, I think it's called I Got Two Hamsters for a Week. One of those hamsters came to me in too small of an enclosure, so I put it into one of my empty enclosures. And that hamster chewed a little hole like this into the top. And I had it covered on both sides, like a really strong adhesive thing on both sides, keeping that hole shut. So I didn't think he could get out at all. But he worked on it enough with his face and pushed it out of the way. So he made his way down the top rack, and I guess he fell, and that's what woke me up. And this is 6 feet, so I was really worried. I was inspecting him, making sure he was okay, but he seems to be totally fine. I wasn't really looking to completely switch around enclosures by this time 4 in the morning. So I put new adhesive stuff and then put a heavy book. It was actually The Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, and I was actually really sad because I didn't want to move it from like where I keep it on my desk. But it's my heaviest book, so I put it on top of where the hole is so that he couldn't push out of it. And I watched, and I have videos of him just working on trying to push out. He just kept working on it, trying to get out. The next day rolls around, and I had things to do. I did not have time to like fix things, and the book was working. So I was like, this is okay, it's okay, I can wait another day. He did not get out, but then the night rolls around, and I wake up at like 4 this time, and I hear noises, and I look. He had got that adhesive off, and it was on his face. So I'm like, oh my god, he can't breathe. So I went in, got it off. Luckily, it's like, it didn't like hurt his face or scales or anything. I got it off, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing that again. Oh my god. So I check him out, make sure he's okay. I like kind of watch him for a bit. He just chills, drinks some water, he's fine. And then I basically just decide, okay, the book is keeping him in. So I leave the book. So my friend came over after she was done work later in the day, and she was sitting in my chair right here, feeding the leopard gecko in here, just kind of playing with him. And I look up, and Vetter is halfway out of the enclosure through that hole, but his body is between the book and the mesh top screen. So he had gotten out and was between the book. So then I'm like, oh god, like, I have to fix this right now. So I get him out, make sure he's okay, because obviously that mesh hole is gonna have some like sharp spots. And he seemed fine, had no problems, no cuts, no nicks. So I get like a big piece of plastic and cover that whole spot, keep the book on top so he can't push up like he couldn't push up that plastic and that book, and waited till that night. So my friend left, she went home, and I got extra mesh. And my plan originally, like the screen mesh, my plan originally was to cut out a piece just bigger than the hole and sew it so that it covered it. But I felt like I just needed to go harder. Also, apparently it's hard to find sewing needles. My mom went to some stores, I went to some stores, couldn't find any, which is so weird. Apparently everyone's sewing right now. Maybe it's Halloween and people are like sewing their kids' Halloween costumes. I don't know. So I went ahead and got my extra screen, cut out a piece, super glued it, and used like a craft glue. Glued it. And then I took some of this, which is like, basically you can use it as, I guess, on your countertop or in the bottom of drawers or a backsplash if you wanted, things like that. It's adhesive. I took that, and basically because the hole is right in the corner of the enclosure, I took a piece like this. I basically folded it like this with an extra piece of mesh inside around the hole, and then filled inside of it with glue so it had like an extra strength, and I kept it shut with a magnet on each side while it dried so that it would be like stuck. And then when it was dry, I went in and did it again with more mesh because I wouldn't want him to push through like this because it's kind of papery. And that has kept him in. He has in fact, I think, realized that he cannot get out through that hole and has stopped trying. So he's in. It doesn't look pretty, and it's definitely not an ideal enclosure for him anyway. It is small, top opening, just like cramping my style really. But he's quite old, and I just worry that he's kind of slow and like bobs around. I don't think their vision's good to start with, but I think his vision is bad. Even when he doesn't have eye caps or anything, it's bad. He has horrific aim for finding food, and obviously like I dangle food for him, so I know he gets it. But same with water, he has to bump into the water to find it. So I've had to put him in a pretty small, not small, but small-ish enclosure. It's this one. This is where the hole was. So you can see I just have a little corner right there where it's covered up. That black is on the outside, but it's covered up right there. And you can actually see him right there. So my plan is that I'm going to get PVC stackable enclosures, hopefully, or just PVC enclosures for my bigger reptiles or the ones that I want to have like much more room. So that would be for my bearded dragon, my ball python. And when my ball python is moved out of this enclosure, I will likely put Vetter into this one for the remainder of his life, which is hopefully a while, but I'm not sure. He's like 20, so we'll see. So that was my story time on my first ever experience having an animal escape. It was really stressful, and it like actually weighed on me heavy. Like everything I did, I was just stressed out about it and like felt guilty. So 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Make sure you have sealed up all holes that animals can escape from. Also, I thought it would be fun to like pick a question from my comments every week and like answer one of them at the end of the video. So I thought I would answer a question that I saw in the comments of Wednesday's video, which was, what was my very first exotic reptile? That would be a hedgehog. I mean, it is considered exotic, so it would be a hedgehog when I was pretty young, probably like 9 or 10. Her name was Ramona. She lived a long time for a hedgehog. My first reptile, if you're asking like exotic like reptile, that would be a bearded dragon when I was probably 9 and got Ramona when I was 8 or something like that. And his name was Reggie. Hi there, I look crazy and I'm about to record a second channel video, but I realized I didn't answer the and why part. Ramona, my cousin had her and just like was kind of looking to get rid of her, and I was a child who was like, yes please, I love animals. And as for the bearded dragon, my dad brought it home because someone he knew didn't want it anymore and just brought it home, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. My dad had snakes when I was a kid, when he was a kid, and talked about them, and my reptile love stemmed from there. Anyway, so that's the video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you do want to keep up with me outside of YouTube, I do have Instagram at Shane's Reptiles, Twitter or X at Shane's Reptiles. I have Twitch, Patreon, a second channel, all linked in the description. You can check it out if you feel like it. And if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing or liking, and leave a comment or a question that I could answer in next week's video. I think that's all I gotta say. So, I'll see you next week. Bye.